Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be a short one, we'll say. I've had some back trouble this week, so I haven't really been able to do a lot. But we're going to be back on the Mustang. I've made a junkyard run. I've ordered a few parts online. I've gotten everything that I ordered online, and that's what I was going to do today, was show you exactly what I ordered. We'll do some unboxing stuff and show you what I got at the junkyard. So let's get to it. So here's the total haul we got from junkyard and online. Let's get these things opened up and gone through and see how everything looks. The first piece we're going to look at is part of our grill assembly. This is the piece. See, it's dirty, fresh out of the junkyard. This is the piece that kind of goes behind the front of your bumper. Our Cobra emblem would bolt into these two holes. So this is really just kind of a filler panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all this black. I might even clear it to give it some really shiny, or I may do satin or something like that. But this piece was in really good shape in the junkyard, so I grabbed it. Let's see. I can't remember how to decode the Ford numbers, but anyways, it's a really good piece. I've got to clean it up, get some paint on it so it's looking good. Second piece also goes on the front. So in the last video, when I put my hood prop rod on, I didn't realize, but our hook or hold down was gone for the prop rod. Well, this new, I guess I would call this a radiator cover. I didn't realize it was built into it. I thought it was just a removable part. But I had ended up grabbing one of these at the junkyard too, because it's in real good shape. It's like, of course, just like that grill filler panel, it needs cleaning, possibly some paint. But to me, the car has one of the, I think they make several radiator covers, and that one has, I think, a steel one on it, a mild steel that's been painted. To me, it really doesn't look good. I know you can get some stainless and aluminum radiator hold downs that do look really good, but that one doesn't have one, and this was cheap. So that's why I went with this one. We got our hood prop rod holder here already, and it has all the factory provisions for everything that's on the car. So I thought that was a pretty good score. It doesn't have the AC air conditioning like sticker on it that would tell you how much Freon goes in it. The thing I am proud of, these will be getting at least one more upgrade in the future, but I thought for now, just to where I can drive the car and get, have some fun in it. This was a good score at the junkyard. I mean, I got this stuff super cheap, so that's why I was really excited. I actually got a set of SPC Performance caster camber plates, and they're all there. So I've got the top part that actually bolts onto your strut, which is why I really grabbed the whole strut. These struts look pretty rough. They've got some rust jacking and stuff on them. The name on them is either, I think it's OES Spectrum. I don't know if we can see that. OES Spectrum. I don't know anything about them. I thought about doing a little research, and if they're supposed to be good struts, I may clean them, paint them, and put them on the car for now. But as you can see, I'm going to have to redo all the bushings on them anyways. But these caster camber plates for a set of aluminum ones are usually $100, $150. I can't even remember what I paid for the last set I bought, which I personally like the 4-bolt ones. I like the way they look better. But I was really stoked about that, grabbing those parts. And say if the struts aren't really a good brand, or they may even be worn out, the caster camber plates is really what I was going after. So that was my junkyard haul. I guess you could say for the week, because I'm sure I'll be going back. And in the last video, I installed the, let me get this right this time, the fuel rail pressure sensor. I got that a little mixed up in the last video. I knew it wasn't the fuel pressure regulator, but I kept saying that, so I don't know, just your brain works weird sometimes. So we got that. We did a set of vacuum hoses that I got from the junkyard, the evaporator like purge valve, and the door weather stripping. Now those were all junkyard hauls also. So like I said, it's small stuff, but when you're saving hundreds of dollars on a car build, to me it's worth it. Because I don't have just a ton of money to put into this kind of stuff, so I really enjoy it or am excited when I find good stuff at the junkyard. We will be going back to the junkyard, and I also need to film it next time because there are several cars down there that I was getting parts off of for the Mustang. There are 2 or 3 GTs down there, so I've still got to get a few things, but like I said, we'll be making more trips. We'll make a lot of trips, and that was the haul for this week. So let's get to unboxing some ordered stuff. Well, we've got a couple of packages here. These are 2 that I ordered. Well, one from the rockauto. I know what that one is. We're going to open it last. But I really want to open it because this is a surprise to me. I don't know the part in here. I'm not sure how it is. I'm hoping it's a certain way, but we're going to find out together. So we're going to set that down here first. Now this, you've seen some of this in the last video. Let's get it open and have a look. I was really surprised I found some of these realistically as cheap as I found them. They got here pretty quick, just within a few days. Bubble wrap. There it is. Look at that. So, these are the factory vacuum lines for a Mustang Cobra. These come off of a 99 model. If you want to, you can reference the last video, but remember we had this split connection here. Get out of there. That runs over to our air conditioning system. We have a port here and a port here, and they do different things in the air conditioning. The second is our main port. Now in the last video, the Mustang GT's main port, the vacuum hoses come out of the top of it. And I remember in the video I said I think the Cobras have a 90 because of the way the intake's made. So that will be correct for our engine. And then it comes around to the EGR valve. Now this one will be plugged off. That car has been EGR valve deleted. And then it runs around to our purge valve that we put on in the last video. And then our fuel rail pressure sensor that I put on in the last video. So I was very excited about this part. Not necessarily because it had all the vacuum lines, but it's because I can get this fitting, this fitting, this fitting. These fittings, you know, off of the GT was right. This is the fitting that I was worried about, was finding one of these. And I'm sure I could probably order it from a Ford dealership, or I might not be able to. I don't know. But I think I paid $30 total for that, which to me it's worth it because then your routing is all correct. And I will most likely get new loom or at least redo the tape on this. This piece of the loom is really deteriorated. The rest of it looks real good, so I may just take a piece off of that GT vacuum hose and put it on here and then redo all the tape. I've got some of this fabric tape that's designed for that. So that is our eBay vacuum hoses for the Cobra. Now, very excited about that. Now here's one I'm excited about also. This potentially could fix one of our issues, hopefully. So let me me get the old cutter out. And let's open this. And I'll tell you what it is first, and then we will look and see if it's how I hoped it is. Shipped it with airbags. Our receipt. Right here. That's what we're going after. This is a ignition lock cylinder. I did not do any research on this product. I got on rockauto. I looked up like ignition switch or key or something, and this was one of the standard replacements that has 2 patch transceiver keys and the ignition lock cylinder. What I'm hoping for is an already cut key. Now this could be done either way. If it's not cut, I will take my key, I think I have it in my pocket. Yes. I will take my key and have the key cut to that car. All right. Now, if the key is not, or if the key is cut already, this part, what I will have to do, and I will film it, I will have to get not ignition, the door lock and the trunk lock cylinder. I think you can get rebuild kits for them, and I can rekey them to the new key. That way my key will unlock it, it'll open the trunk. So, well, because remember this one, in the last video I showed it had been boogered up pretty good around that patch transceiver. So hopefully this, when it's all said and done, will eliminate the theft light issue, flashing. So let's get into this and see what we have. There's the lock cylinder. Oh yeah, I can see already. Woo. They package that baby up tight. Which I guess is smart, because when you're talking about patch transceiver keys, they're, you know, they're tough, but if you drop one right, it can break it. I'm trying to cut the plastic and not myself. So there's your Ford ignition lock cylinder. And as you can tell, that key is already cut. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Both keys are cut. So what I will have to do is order, I'm pretty sure rockauto has them, the door lock cylinder and the trunk lock cylinder rebuild kits, and I'll rebuild it to these keys. So here's the difference. This is what caught my eye about the key. This one is really boogered up. That's your patch transceiver chip, and it's sticking out a long way on that key. That was the first thing I noticed. Well, if you can tell, these keys, it is flush with that key. That chip should not, that's the chip everybody talks about. That's what it is. And these are not out. So hopefully when I program these, it will take care of the patch issue. Vroom. Vroom. So both keys fit. I mean, I'll explain this in the video, but with the lock cylinder out, I can go ahead and tell you there's a little pin right there, and it moves up and down just a little bit. See? So the way you get this ignition out of your car, and the Fords from, gosh, back in the 60s, I think, were like this. So to get your ignition out, your lock cylinder, okay, that's off. That's how your car would be off. So your position's going to be about right here. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to turn your ignition on, but not crank it. And then you take a little screwdriver or something and you press that little pin up like that. My hands are in the way. You press that pin up, this whole lock cylinder will slide out of there. And I guess they had problems in the past with theft, because I know pre-97, no, 98, I think is when they started the chips. Anywho's, it was sometime around in there. the older vehicles would have a PATS module. Well, in these years, that PATS is integrated into the PCM. That's why you have to have programmable keys. Because in the past, you could just get a lock cylinder with whatever keys and it would crank it. These will not. If I put this in that car right now, it would not start. It would be flashing the theft light just like it's doing now. So I'm really hoping that programming these two keys will work. So I'm very ecstatic about that. And I'll just have to rebuild the lock cylinder. So I know this video hasn't been exciting to say the least, but I am excited about the parts that I've gotten, especially at the junkyard. Most of the time that kind of stuff is stripped off of a Mustang pretty quick. But hopefully you've enjoyed this, just doing a little unboxing just for some content, because a lot of times this stuff gets looked over. You know, I'll be doing a video and I'm just like, oh, here's my new ignition cylinder, let's throw it in, and I don't really explain what I'm doing with it or the purpose behind it. And that was one of the reasons with this car that I'm videoing and going through everything, so I can post it and everybody can see the build. So if you like this, I hope you did, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one.